Welcome back, everyone, to the Graveyard Shift. I'm your host, Hayden, and today I'm here with my co-host, Graham.
Hello, and today we are going to look at Hayden's own personal experience with the
Supernatural.
supernatural. I was going to say paranormal.
Paranormal, yeah.
Um, and his ghost story that he's experienced.
Oh, this is one of them. This is not just the one. I have multiple.
This is your main one. This is like
This
the
is
big one.
this is the second main one. There's two main ones I've had in my life.
Have you written down the other one?
I never really did I never really written the story out for that one. This one I did because this one stuck with me the most.
Gotcha.
The other one
Because
was just
this is
more
the
of
one
a,
you talk about the most. So
yeah, this one because this one traumatized me when I was a kid.
yeah, this is the one you talk about the most. I
Yeah.
just is kind of
The
assuming.
other one was more of like when I was a teenager and it was just a weird experience.
Now, so for me, I don't have any supernatural, um, like okay, I say that, but like I've had one supernatural occurrence happen in my life.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you know it?
No, probably not.
Okay. So as you know, my grandma passed away back in May.
Yeah, of last year, right?
Yeah, of last year. Jeez, that's weird to say. Um, so she passed away back in May, and
Oh,
you know where
this.
I'm going. Yes.
Yes.
So we're all in the living room, and the hospice nurse is in my grandma's room. We're just kind of waiting for the funeral people to come and get her.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, from my mom's room, that no one's in, not a single person's in, not a single person said to do this. Alexa started playing "Don't Worry, Be Happy." So like that's the only supernatural thing that's like really happened in my life. Still, a message be from beyond the grave. I'm not denying that. I don't know what your take with that on that would be.
My own question is, did it happen like so it happened after she passed away?
Yes, after.
How far after? How long after, sorry? Like right after, or was it like maybe five
So
minutes, 10 minutes?
probably within like an hour and 30 minutes.
That's a long time for that to appear. Like if that happened like instantly, like maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes
But we were
after.
all kind of like talking about it. So we don't think it was my grandma. We think it was probably my grandpa or uncle trying to tell us like, "Hey, don't worry, be happy. She's back with us."
Okay.
That's kind of like what we were thinking. We're like, grandma wouldn't do that to us. We think it was Satch or Steve, is what my aunt said.
I mean, who knows? The supernatural world is puzzling, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm when Holmes. I can never listen to that song again. Like I just not traumatized, but anytime I think of it, it's gonna remind me of that.
I mean, since you mentioned them, I can mention my one because the other one is pretty short. This one's the longest one.
Okay, yeah, mention it.
The other supernatural experience I've had, besides the one we're listening to today, is when I was camping with a group of friends, and this was my freshman year of college. We went camping. I'm not gonna say the location because I don't want people going there and not the location of heavens, but the location of the campsite
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that's our campsite. We don't want anybody coming and messing with it. So we're on the country. At one of the points, we're like, okay, we're bored. We're gonna go for a walk. I think it was no, we went for a drive. Ended up in a town and then walked around the town. And then all of a sudden it started raining. So we hid in. We saw a house up ahead that had a patio, like an old Victorian house,
Mm.
basically. This place was abandoned. Like the siding was falling off. There was a giant hole in
I
the
don't
roof.
know this story. This is all new.
Okay, so there was like a hole in the, I want to say in the second floor. We just basically went straight up to it. There was a fence, but there's no trespassing signs. There was nothing. We just went up there just to hide out from the rain for like a quick minute. Because I if
Because
I
you were driving.
yeah, we no, we were walking around the town.
Okay.
The car was like 5 minutes into the town square. We were on like maybe the border of the town because we just walked around.
Is the town? I think I know what town you're thinking of.
It's since no one knows where I'm going to be pointing. Uh, you know where Curran Road is, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Little bit, little bit north of that.
Tell me the town's name after we get
Okay,
there.
so as we're there, we my buddy, I'm not gonna give names. I'm just buddy number one,
Okay.
uh, sees that the door's unlocked
Oh.
and goes on in. And we turn around and it's like, what the fuck? So we're going in there because like the storm's picking up. So it's like, okay, we're gonna be here a while. So we just go and we're exploring. We're basically doing an urban exploration without cameras.
Okay, so what happened?
So
Did anything happen?
no, so nothing happened on the first floor. So we started going, exploring around, looking around, like, oh, this place looks cool. There's no furniture whatsoever, just holes in the floor.
So it's all empty.
It's very empty. Uh, the only thing I saw that was furniture wise was maybe a few chairs.
Like chairs like the ones that
No,
like that.
like that one over there. The ones by your couch.
That's the same as that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. I think your point. I thought this was another chair, like what we're sitting on. So yes, there's like these, like
Okay.
maybe one or two of
Like
them.
dining shaped
Yeah,
chairs.
and so we go upstairs, and we're going up the tower, basically.
Okay.
So we get up to the tower, and we're just looking over the town as we're up there. And all of us, there's about four of us, we're all up there. Next thing I know, we hear a slam from downstairs, and we're like, okay, that might have been the door from the wind because we left it open so that way we're not locked in.
Right.
So we figured that was the door. And we're like, okay. Then next thing we're being quiet, we're just watching. We hear running coming up the staircase.
Nope.
Oh yeah. And it got
Nope.
louder and louder till it got to the door. And we were like, okay, the fuck's going on? And we expected someone to come through the door. No. The door to the staircase shuts.
Mm-mm.
All two of my friends that were closer to the door, two of my buddies that were closer to the door ran out the door. They opened it, ran out.
Yeah,
And
that's a small thing to do.
and
Those are the type of people who survive in a horror
so
movie.
me and Buddy One were just sitting there like, okay, what do we do? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. This is my this is like my second encounter with Ghost, but it's like I'm not really that front. I'm like, this was an odd experience to see, but I want to see how this ends. So we hear three and four downstairs scream for us to come out, and so we just casually walked, and we went down the staircase. Next thing we know, running down the stairs. The steps that we
I
ran
would have
down.
been out of the house so fast.
Yeah, you would have. You and phasmophobia.
Okay, so
But that is the only other personal supernatural experience I've ever had, especially with a ghost.
now I don't know if I've actually talked about this on the podcast. I know I've talked to you about my sleep demon.
Maybe, yeah.
You're the one who told me what it was, so yes, I've talked to you about it.
You mean sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, that.
What? Yeah,
Yeah.
sleep paralysis demon.
Okay, so that's our friend Miranda. She was here to join us. She did another podcast episode with us, but she didn't want to join us on this one.
Yeah.
So if you hear Rand's voice, it's yours. So you remember like what trick was that, right? Anything to do with the supernatural.
Yeah.
Talking about doesn't affect as much. Um, but anything like found footage, like paranormal activity, has a higher chance of um triggering it for me. So for those of you who don't know what sleep paralysis demon or sleep demon is, it's basically you wake up and you
You're half awake, half asleep.
see whenever I have it happen, I'm always fully awake.
You might be fully awake, but your brain's not really fully awake.
Okay. So
You might
I
feel like it.
feel like there's a weight on me and I can't move at all.
Yeah, that's the point of it.
Well,
Because
I'm explaining. I'm explaining for them.
okay, well, I was gonna explain it to you too.
Okay, you explain what you want to explain.
That is the process, yes, because your body is not basically your brain's only functioning up here. The rest of it is completely shut off because you're half asleep.
Yes.
The rest of your body is technically in sleep mode, but your brain and your eyes are in the process of waking up.
Um. So I am one who very much believes in demons and believes in the supernatural. You know that about me.
Yeah.
I will never allow a Ouija board in my house. And this is actually stuff I was going to say for this Exorcist podcast that we suddenly record. Yeah, you will never be allowed to. If you bring a Ouija board to my house, I will kick you out.
She'd kill me if I did that. So this is why I don't even mess with it.
Why are you murdering me? I'm not the one wanting it.
I like how both the girls yell at us.
No, no, no. I will never allow that stuff. I will never allow that stuff in my house or any house I live in. If it's in someone's house, I probably won't go there.
I wonder if we should,
What?
if I was still in college with my friends when we went camping, if we had a Ouija board and went up to.
Nope. Nope.
I'm not gonna do it now. I'm not gonna do it now. But I'm just saying, if I was so reckless as a kid, I probably would have done that.
Ew. So I'm one who very much believes in possession and believes, and I'm going to repeat all this in the Exorcist podcast. I'm sorry. But I'm very much one who believes in possession and demons and the devil.
Okay.
Like those are real forces in this world. Now, not all ghosts are harmful,
No.
just like how not all people are harmful.
True.
But the harmful ghosts are real.
Yeah.
So let's play Bright Eyes, Bright Blue Eyes. I always call it Bright Eyes.
Yeah, you do. So the story we're going to be listening to, I called it Bright Blue Eyes because you'll find out here because what we're going to do is I'm going to play the video for you guys and then you're going to see probably our reaction to it, but I'm going to have to figure out the audio for this.
Yeah. Um,
Um
Now, so this is Hayden's cousin.
yeah, my cousin Emily is the one who recorded herself doing the
Are you
audio.
going to, if you put this on, you're going to have to blow out her last name because you have her last name on it.
I don't think she'd care
Okay. Well,
because
I guess since you
she
already
is an
put,
author.
okay. And I guess you already did put out on YouTube, so
Yeah.
yeah, it probably doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
she is an author. She has like 3 books, so I don't think she would care.
And so this is a story you wrote
This
and
is a story that
she
I yeah,
recorded and voice acted.
yes. I wrote the story because this is off of a true story. She's the one who basically did the audio for it, the audiobook.
Now, for those of you who don't know, I kind of know the story. You've told me the story
Yeah.
before. I don't know if I will. Excuse me. I don't know if I've actually ever listened to the video.
Actually, if I ever hit record, should I even record the desktop audio?
That's up to you. I don't know. How long ago? Okay, so this was posted 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I know the story. I know bits and pieces of the story. I'm sure I don't know the full story just because you don't really sit down and tell the story a whole lot.
No.
So okay, while you're trying to figure this out, were you traumatized by this?
A little bit.
Okay, how so?
Actually, why don't we just not do the audio? Because that way it doesn't mess with our mics.
Okay,
Because it could pick up and we'll just have our reaction to it.
okay. We'll still hear the audio.
Yeah,
Just so
we'll hear the audio, but through our mics they won't. On their end, when they watch it, they will.
okay.
So go ask me a question again.
How were you traumatized by this?
It I was traumatized enough to where for a while I could not roll over. Like I had to sleep facing the wall for like a little bit, like maybe for a couple probably for about a year or two. Like I had to sleep facing the wall because I could not look the opposite direction.
Okay. All right, so let's play Bright Blue Eyes. And I'm sorry if I ever called Bright Eyes.
It says right there, bright blue eyes.
Okay, I don't watch this video
It's the
for live.
BBE, not BBC.
BBC.
See, she got it.
I know what BBC is, but like, can I just play the video, please? Like,
All right, you ready?
yes.
Actually, I think they will hear it through the mic. Well, it'll be faint probably.
Do you want to hit full screen?
Yeah. We're still good. Okay.
I said full screen, not.
Okay, Graham.
Growing up as a kid, you would expect every day to be filled with joy and laughter, without a care in the world. Well, I wish this were that kind of story, but sadly, there comes a time when reality sets in. As a kid, we have all had our experiences with our fears of the dark and what dwells in the shadows. Sometimes we let our minds wander and create monsters. May 16th, 2005, when I was 8 years old, I shared a room with my little brother. We were your average siblings, always getting into fights, trying to outdo each other, but we always got along. We shared everything when we were younger, such as toys, clothes, even our old bunk bed. Ah, the bunk bed. I can still remember building forts every night as we watched movies on our Windows 10 PC. Every night our parents had us switch beds just so we wouldn't fight about who got which bunk. I usually preferred the top because I liked how small everything looked down below. One night it was my turn on the bottom bed. I had just finished brushing my teeth before my brother, and after I was done, I walked to my parents' room and noticed the light was on. I opened the door and saw my brother was asleep on their bed. I guess my parents were out shopping for groceries, I thought, so I draped a blanket over him and decided to leave him on their bed, then turned off the light and headed to our room. Before I made it to our room, I heard a knock at the front door. I quietly walked down the hallway, hoping not to wake my brother. I knew I wasn't supposed to answer the door, especially this late at night. Therefore, before I came to the door, I took a quick peek around the corner to see who it was. There was no one there, which was weird because I just heard someone knock. I brushed it off, thinking it was the neighborhood kids ding-dong ditching our house. So I tiptoed closer to the door, trying not to be seen in the porch light shining through the door. Trying not to be seen in the porch light shining through the door's window panes. I glanced through the door's windows, hoping to see who was out there, and no one was at the door. I sprung back in utter surprise, almost running into the living room couch. It was so loud that I felt the house shake beneath my feet. I was so scared I slammed into the wall, trying to run around a corner to get to my room. After that, I spent most of the night hiding under the covers. A few hours had passed, so I decided to listen to music on my MP3 player to take my mind off what had happened. Before I could play a song, the bedroom door opened. I looked over and saw my brother. As he stood in the doorway, he looked up at me. "It's my turn on the top bunk," he said in a groggy voice. I was so frightened from earlier that I forgot, so I jumped out of the bed to move to the bottom bunk. "Do you need help getting up?" I asked as I walked over to close the bedroom door. I turned around and my brother was gone. I brushed it off, thinking he was already in bed. Then I heard him ask me to tuck him in, so I climbed up, but he wasn't there. Nor was he on the bottom bunk. I was so confused, I ran to my parents' room to find him still asleep in their bed. At this point, I was so tired, I went back to bed and passed out for the night. The next morning, I told my parents about what had happened, and they said it was just a nightmare. But it couldn't have been a nightmare. It felt so real. Even my arm had a bruise from slamming into the wall. The next night, I made sure my brother went to bed first so that I knew where he was. I climbed into bed and started listening to my music. An hour had passed and my headphones were no longer in my ears. And then I heard my brother asking me to wake up. I rolled over and looked down. He was still asleep. Even though I wasn't fully awake, I could have sworn I heard him talking to me. I rolled back over and then I saw it. A black, smoke-like figure, almost transparent, but still visible to see in the dark, with bright blue eyes. We stared at each other for what felt like hours. My body was completely frozen in fear, and I didn't know what to do. Never in my life have I felt time move so slowly as I stared into those blue eyes. I was so scared that I could hear my heart beating through my chest. All of a sudden, my body unfroze, and my only reaction was to throw a punch. My hand went right through where its mouth would be. I felt cold for a few seconds, then my hand began to fall asleep so much that it began hurting. I began to feel the pain moving up my arm, not being able to move my arm, and I screamed for my dad to come help. Seconds later, my dad came bursting through the door. I told him what had happened, and again he said it was just a nightmare and that the pain is from lying on my bruised arm. He then said goodnight and walked out the room. I rolled back over trying to forget what happened. My eyes shot wide open as I peered over my shoulder, and it grew louder from my chest. Years have passed, and I'm now 21 years old and have grown used to scary things.
So I'm gonna pause right here because there's a section she actually missed. I never caught that now. So the part where my eyes started getting wide open.
Mm.
there was laughter coming from our closet. There's child laughter coming from our closet. That's what I remember hearing, and that was the part that's missing from that. I just heard it.
I enjoy watching horror movies every night before bed and going to haunted houses when they're in town. I moved out of my old room into the spare room back in high school because my brother got tired of me watching horror movies every night. Since then, we now go to different colleges, but I'm still living with my parents because I can't afford a dorm at my college, which is fine because I'm not much of a social person and I really don't want to deal with college dating drama. One night, I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers playing scary games. After a couple of videos, I shut off my TV and turned my head towards the wall, avoiding everything in the room behind me. Ever since that night when I was younger, I always found it easier to sleep with my back to the room. After a while, I began hearing tapping on the other side of the wall coming from my brother's room. But this couldn't have been him. My brother was at college, so I brushed it off thinking it was a pipe rattling in the walls. It got a little bit annoying, so I rolled over to reduce the noise. After I rolled over, I caught a glimpse of my room. Nothing out of the ordinary, just dirty clothes on the ground and a few empty Gatorade bottles on the floor next to my bed. Just your basic, average college room, minus not having anyone to share it with. I closed my eyes and began hearing the tapping again, only it wasn't coming from the wall behind me, but my closet instead. I opened my eyes, beginning to panic, wondering what the hell.
So let me paint you a picture. So you've been in my room,
Mm,
my parents. So you know where my bookshelf is?
yeah.
That's where my bed used to be.
Okay.
So so right next to
Because
my
now your bed was
now
your
my bed's like in the middle of the room.
yeah.
So my bed used to be like here's the bookshelf when you walk in, here's my bed.
Okay.
Facing facing the wall that faces my brother's.
Gotcha.
So you know where my closet is on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see
So
the room.
you can see your closet dead on.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you see the room.
Yeah.
Okay. So where my bed currently is in my parents' house is where my desk used to be.
Okay.
What was going on? I quickly panned the room, hoping it was just my imagination. Then I saw
Back up
it
because the audio.
in the darkness, just standing in the corner by my closet door, staring at me with those bright blue eyes.
So you only saw this figure. Um,
Would you just send him? What does the text say?
I don't know.
Oh my God, is that what we're talking about right now?
No, stop. We're trying to record something. Okay. So now this figure you saw 2 times, correct?
Yes.
So you never saw it. Like you
It-
saw it when you were 5,
Eight.
8,
Yeah, eight. It was in 2005.
2005. Okay. You saw it when you were 8, and then you saw it again when you were 21.
Roughly like freshman year, close.
Okay.
So around, oh, yeah, I would say around 21, maybe 2021.
Okay. Do you have any idea what it was?
Actually, no. Wait. No, I was like 18 or 19 freshman year.
Okay. Do you have any idea what it was?
I want to say it was more of like a shadow person that,
Because to me, it doesn't sound like a demon.
it's not much of a demon. But I'd say it's more of like a shadow person because shadow persons are more of all black and they do have eyes that you can see they're either white or blue.
Right. I mean, yeah, I don't know too much about.
But here's the thing, my house growing up wasn't old. There was no, we were the first owners of that house.
Gotcha.
So there's no way that there would be anything haunting me.
I mean, could have very well been like a item that you guys had, because your family goes to antique stores a lot.
Yes, but I don't think well, I can't say that because there could have been anything that we've had haunted. Because we currently have so above my parents' vanity on the fireplace, my grandpa's ashes sit there.
Hmm.
We have three urns of his ashes because they one's for each of us. Well,
Okay.
yeah, one from my parents and one from my brother and I. After my grandpa passed away, the light above it would constantly flicker. You good?
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
So that's the only other thing I could think of, like supernatural related. But for anything that around that time, I can't think of anything that would have been haunted or possessed.
I mean, it may not have been possessed. It may have been like a spirit, like you said, a shadow person. I don't know too much on that. I'm not an expert.
Shadow persons are more of the ones who just they're more of like frozen or lost souls. Who
So it could have been something that you guys just brought. I mean, it may have been an antique store, but it could have been an antique store.
it could have been.
And you guys, it was just attached to that item.
Yeah, I don't know what item that would be.
I mean, it's no one would know. Like it would be
No,
hard to tell.
no.
Um,
I just remember. So you see my brother's room, right?
Vaguely, like once.
Okay, so you kind of remember the layout.
The only thing I remember was like the bed off to the side and a shelf of Legos.
Okay, so where the shelf of Legos is, used to be where our bunk bed is.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the bed he currently has in that room is the base bunk bed because
Gotcha.
it splits in two. So I had the other one in my room. That's what I was sleeping on in the story.
Okay.
But his bed, they were both stacked up. So that closet is where I heard the section that wasn't mentioned is where I heard the child laughter.
Um, and see, like the Widows thing to me about your entire experience is it only happened 2 times.
Yeah, that's the only times I can remember it. It might have happened more. I just didn't notice it. Probably.
It could
You
be.
girls good? Okay. Are you taking my car or hers? Okay.
Do you have the keys?
Yeah, she's got the keys.
Okay. I don't know. It's real to like. Okay, maybe happened other times. It could have happened like when you go sleep. And
It could have happened, yeah. My brother might have had his own experiences with it.
have you ever talked to your brother about?
I've asked him when he was younger about it if he remembers anything of it. Like if he remembered coming into the room and he said like no, I don't remember coming. He remembers staying in my parents' room.
Mm,
I think he was watching TV and he just passed out. But he doesn't remember at all coming into the room and talking to me or saying like, "Hey, it's my turn on the top bunk."
right.
As we got older, it kind of just like slipped our mind about the experience. Well, mostly mine until it
Until
happen again. Not not saying that he might have had his own experiences when I'm asleep. He
yeah.
could have been.
But you never talked to him about
No,
it. Have your parents experienced anything?
the only thing that I remember them experiencing is grandpa.
Gotcha.
The light. That's the only thing I've ever pointed out to,
Ooh.
that we've actually all seen him once.
Um. Now the other weird part about your story is the banging at the door.
Yeah.
Like to me, that doesn't banging always.
Well, I was gonna explain the banging.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So
But
like
you said the house shook in your story.
well, I was a kid. Like I
I know.
remember it just being so loud. Not as loud as that, but
Well, yeah.
like
Please
really
don't do this now. Then.
no. So I did not mean like to make your parents freak out, but like someone like really banging on the door, like someone's
Gotcha.
gonna kick it down.
Now, to me, that's also weird with this
And
whole experience.
here's the thing. This was around the time where we had a screen in front of our door. We still have a screen in front of our door, but like there's the your interior door and you have an outerior door.
Yeah,
You wouldn't be able to knock on it, which is weird. It's like how that happened.
yeah. Unless it was happening from inside
Well, maybe.
and something was trying to get you out of your room.
All I remember is just hearing the knocking, and then I walked down the hall. And this is because
Were you home alone?
yes, because my parents weren't home. I,
Okay,
when I was 8, my parents trusted me to watch after my brother.
gotcha.
And yeah, I know that's probably not the best thing to do
It
now.
was a different
It was
time
a
back
different
then.
time, yes. My parents trusted me. I was old enough to look after my brother. All I remember is that my parents always told me this one rule. If you hear anybody knock on the door or ring the doorbell, you hide. You do not open the door
Mm,
in case of kidnappers,
right.
which we did.
Sound advice.
So that's why when I said I peeked around and I didn't want to be seeing the light, it's so that way no one saw me like actually in the house.
Right.
And that's the weird part is because I just hear knocking and I'm like, okay, I gotta peek this. I was only told to peek to see who it was. Then I tell my parents, hey, this person stopped by. That's all I was supposed to do.
Mm.
So I peeked, didn't see anybody, so I walked closer to see if they're gone. I was like, okay, I can't tell who it was. And then all I hear is that big ass loud knocking scared the heck out of me. Turned around, and you know where the door is. So
Yeah.
that closet that's right there, that corner, I smacked this shoulder.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I remember it was like,
Probably why you have problems with that shoulder.
no, this is a shoulder. This is my pitching arm.
Okay.
This shoulder, like right here, I remember having like a bruise.
Gotcha.
It was a decent sized one too.
I mean, I don't know. It's just weird the Bane. Because, like, Bane normally would represent, and again, I'm no expert on this. You probably know more about the topic than me, to say the truth. I only have watched the Conjuring movies.
If
But,
you
like,
watch any urban exploration videos on YouTube, you get random noises that happen.
yeah, but, like, random noises to me always indicate, like, something evil. And I
Not
don't.
always, because you can always ask a friendly ghost
Okay, true.
to, hey,
True.
can you knock for us to make so that we know you're here? And you would hear a knock. It's a possibility.
Okay, true. True. Anything else you want to share?
Um, there was another ghost experience, but if you want to hear that one, I don't mind sharing that one. I have multiple, but I do have another one.
How long is it? How long are we at?
We're at 32, so
It's up to you. I don't care.
I don't mind sharing it. And yes, I apparently have experienced a lot of supernatural things because I what?
I'm not asking if we want anything from school.
Just tell them I'll take a milkshake, or yeah, I'll just take a milkshake and
What kind?
vanilla milkshake.
Large?
Yeah. If do you want anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna say two.
Okay. Go figure they go for ice cream. Sorry, so if you're watching this. Um, see, as you can tell, I've done a lot of supernatural like in person. Like I've had my own personal experiences.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I shared mine at the beginning of
Yeah.
the story, but that's all I can really remember. Actually, do you remember that one night we just got done playing Among Us, and
Oh, the story. Okay, I
yeah,
remember.
you okay? So you remember?
Yeah, because it's the after credit. It's the after credit video.
Yes. So there was one night we were playing Among Us during the pandemic, and it was like 11:30 at night. I was home alone with my grandmother at the time
The
because
one
I
that
think
you were talking about the story.
the one I was talking about before. That's the only grandmother I've ever known. My other one passed away when I was like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So she, lived with us, and all of a sudden I heard this big banging sound, like a door being slammed. So I'm like taking my computer and walking around the house.
I think I remember you sending me a video or something. Or like you were showing your face on the screen.
But then Discord like disconnected me
Yes.
for like 30 seconds without me realizing it. So there was like 30 seconds where I was just completely dead silent. I'll have to find the video and post it. And
I have to find the video.
um, so I don't know, but it could have very well been a cat running and just getting stuck and slamming the door,
I might have bumped into a door.
or might bumped into a door, or
You might have had that one, what's that one door? The laundry room or the one that's up here but next to the kitchen, the one that always opens.
the mudroom.
The what?
The mudroom.
Sure. That one, I do know the door is very since I've been here, I noticed that door is very loose. That could have been open. The cat just might have ran and smacked it.
Could happen. Yeah. I mean, so
Or
it
could
may
have
not
been
have been
pantry.
anything
Could have been your pantry
supernatural.
doors.
Yeah, we normally keep those closed.
All right.
So I don't know if that was supernatural, but like that is the only other like supernatural story that I could possibly have.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's supernatural though, because I don't really know what happened.
Yeah. If something else happened and wasn't a cat, then yeah, I could classify it as supernatural. But there's a possibility it could have been one of your
Yeah, and it probably most likely was one of my cats, but that's the only other story that could possibly be skimming the supernatural.
Well, now that you mentioned back to the knocking, it could have been the ding. There have been kids on my street growing up who would run ding dong ditch the house.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you and I both did it
Yeah,
as kids. Like
yes.
that was the thing we did.
And there were times where the kids on my street, I don't know why, apparently they didn't do the doors as much. They would actually come up and bang on the windows.
Do you remember what was that Halloween game that everyone played?
Which one?
You like the entire month of October, everyone would leave a bucket of candy. You give me the most confusing look.
Yeah, because I'm questioning what the fuck you're talking about.
You'll leave candy at someone's door, bring it, and then run away. And then that person will have to pick like three people to do.
Oh, you're talking about being booed.
Boo! That was it.
Yes, that's the thing around this town. Yeah, that's a normal thing.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen anymore though.
No, they still do it because our house gets booed a lot.
Really? Okay.
And booed is not like boo, you suck. It's more of like you've been booed, like, hey, your house. They put on notice that, hey, your house is cool. Select three more houses to drop this bucket. Select another person to drop this bucket off
Yeah,
and boo their house. And you have to leave the note, and you have to leave the candy that you're going to be giving on Halloween in the bucket.
gotcha. Yeah.
So yes, they still do because my
Okay.
parents got it not last year, but the year before.
That's good because I honestly
Our
missed that.
our other neighbors got it last year. We did not
Gotcha.
get even though our family does a haunted house every year, we hardly get it now
Hmm.
because it's like you guys are always gonna get the bucket.
Well, I always did like friends and family,
Yeah,
or not family, but just friends around.
I know. We always got it. It was fun getting it,
Yeah.
but
So anyway, going back to your story. Sorry, you just knocking remind me of that
yes,
too.
but yeah, the kids on my street would always knock on the door, and our house always got hit. It was a common thing, which is why I thought it was them. But then the banging loud, it could have been them or it could not have been them. But that
I
still does
mean,
not explain me rolling over and seeing.
no, no. And doesn't explain the laughter or hearing your brother's voice.
No, it doesn't.
I saw the
Or
other super.
me putting my fist through the face and just my
Yeah,
like when your hand falls asleep if you hold it up for too long, you get that static feeling.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's how it felt.
It feels like just like the
It's a TV static pretty much or
not
snow.
TV static, but it feels like beanbag balls like jumping up and down.
For me, it's more of like um, it's that TV static like the old box TV where you rub your fingers on the screen, you get that
I
electric
missed
feeling.
that.
That's how it feels in my arms
Gotcha.
and
Um,
my limbs.
okay, so what's the other supernatural story?
So the only other supernatural, I have several other experiences, but this one sticks in my mind the most too. Out of the four I've listed now, well, it's now fourth. So do you remember Lumberjack from high school?
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay, so he got his hands on a was it
Ooh,
EMT EMV whatever the fuck it is that picks up the
EMF.
EMF. That's it. He managed to get his hands on one of those,
Jeez.
and he wanted to go to grave sites and do it. And I was like, I'm the only other person he knows that like doing it, so yeah, I went with him.
Right.
So we went to the grave and we messed around with it. We might have gotten something, but we didn't really like pick up on it. And then we were looking up the history on Chatham
Mm.
and other stuff. So there used to be a railroad. If you go out,
Oh, you said a town's name. I know. I don't know if you've been trying for that.
I'll edit it out if I can
Okay.
go back. So there's a in our town. If you go out that direction, no, that direction. Sorry, that's north. That direction.
Okay.
So there's like a which road was it? You go up the main road towards Meyer,
Okay.
but if you go at the one intersection that before you head towards Meyer, and then it goes that way towards the country roads. Trying my best to explain it, and I suck it because I don't know the name of the streets.
Okay.
Okay, you said
So
Iron Bridge. So you know how you go up the road over here towards
yeah,
Chat
towards a
towards
bag. bike path that will take you to the I don't want to say the name of the
It's the
big.
one that goes to Kern Road, basically that leads to Kern Road. That road.
Okay. I
So,
vaguely know that area.
so there's like an abandoned bridge
Mm.
that direction.
I think you showed me before.
Yes, that bridge.
Is this? Ah, there we go.
So that bridge.
Okay, keep talking.
Now I don't know if this is true. We don't know if this is true, but this is what happened. We looked up history on our town of like supernatural things, and it popped up as there was a train that derailed in our town on
Yeah,
that on that on that strip.
I think I remember you telling me
Yeah,
that.
because the bridge, there used to be a station right next to it, and
Okay.
the train derailed and crashed into it, killing people. I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this is just fan fiction. I just remember we saw it online. This was like early phones too. Now I'm looking at Jesus. So we hop in his truck. We go down there, and we're sitting on the abandoned road, on the abandoned railroad, and we're walking over the bridge, and we're asking it, trying to get something,
Mm,
and we're far away from town. Like you can't hear the train here, like of how far away it is.
gotcha.
Okay. All of a sudden, the it's doing the sputtering sound, like it's flipping through channels. And next thing, oh, it's a speaker box. That's it. It's the box, not the amp.
EMF.
It's not the EMF. It's the
Okay.
box that flips through the like different frequency channels.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we start hearing a train horn. Oh, sorry. All of a sudden, we start hearing a train horn,
Mm,
and it's getting louder on this thing because we
jeez.
thought it was on coming from our town. And we're like, oh well, we're pretty close. No, it's getting louder from the thing.
Wow.
That was the only other experience I have,
Okay.
and it was kind of it was kind of cool, but also frightening. It's like we're gonna have a ghost train because they also said that you can also see a man walking that bridge with the old-fashioned lanterns.
Gotcha. Yeah, I vaguely remember you telling me about that one.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the only one that sticks in my head. I could have had other supernatural experiences, and I wouldn't know.
yeah. I remember this is a graveyard shift. We're two idiots talk all. Good night, everyone.